Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. That's too sweet. Anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about yesterday that I really didn't get a chance to, A, because of time, and B, because it would have got overshadowed by the draft, was how every nation competing in the Four Nations Face Off, which is supposed to happen in February of 2025, named their initial 6 spots to their 23-man rosters. And, well, since I'm going to be paying attention to this tournament, I figured, well, let's at least go over the first 6 named by every country in this tournament. So, having said that, let's talk about it. Now, I just want to get this off my chest real quick. I wish this was a World Cup. I mean, it would be very beneficial to have a Team Russia, a Team Czech Republic, and whatever other 2 teams you care to invite, but I get it. I think there's just a lot of good talent not in this tournament. And a lot of it is because they are Czech, Russian, Slovakian. Just saying. But anyway, we got this. It's good enough for me. With the 4 nations competing, as I mentioned, they've named their first 6. The rest of the roster and the uniforms, I'm sure, are coming sometime by the end of this year. That's what I think. That's not what I've been told. But in no particular order, let's go over the first 6. Just because I said no particular order doesn't mean I had to put these guys first. Quick disclaimer, you're going to hear me say on paper a lot. Starting off with McKinnon, McDavid, Makar, Crosby, Point, and Marchand. So essentially, Canada's named their first 2 lines. With the exception of Makar. I mean, I think naming Makar on the team now is a smart move because, there was no way he was going to be left off this roster. McKinnon, McDavid, Crosby. Oh, it's going to be sick. Of course, Crosby, Marchand. Of course, they're going to find their way on here. Remember what they did the 2016 World Cup, which, if you guys want me to talk about the World Cup that have come and gone, let me know. Yeah, no, you can't not put them on. Crosby playing with McKinnon and McDavid in a best-on-best format. At least they're playing together. That's something. On paper, it's pretty stacked. Coming up to Team Finland. I think Finland was the only team to name a goalie. Picking Saros, Lindell, Heiskanen, Barkov, Rantanen, and Aho. Again, on paper, pretty solid. You got freshly minted Stanley Cup champ and 2-time best defensive forward in the league, Alexander Barkov, on the team. To go with Mikko Rantanen, it's a nice compliment. Aho, if he does anything that he's projected to do in the 24-25 season, it's going to be nuts. I think Saros is the wild card here. It's like, yeah, he's a goalie. He's a good goalie. Can he keep you safe in the clutch? That's just one of the questions I got. But either way, that's Finland's first 6. Can it compete with Team Canada? I don't know. But again, it's part of the unpredictability. Team Sweden, looks like they're going defense first. Got Hedman, Carlson, and new Stanley Cup champ, Gustav Forsling. To go with Forsberg, Zibanejad, and Nylander. Now, I like putting Forsberg and Nylander on the same team, much less the same line. That could be a goalie's nightmare, seeing these 2 on a 2-on-1. Don't get me wrong. On paper, I like Sweden's chances. I've always liked Sweden's chances. But this is only the top 6. They haven't even picked 2 goalies yet. So it'd be interesting to see who's left to put on this roster. And then finally, rounding out with the Americans, and we're going for goals aplenty. Kachuk and Matthews alone, that's a good chunk of goals right there. To go with McAvoy, Hughes, Eichel, and Fox. So you've given us your first line and your top pair defensemen, all in the same day. Now, depending on how the rest of this roster pans out on paper, they could be a legit threat. But again, February 25 is a long time from now, and there's still a lot of roster spots to fill. But already this looks impressive for the Americans. Now keep in mind, there are still 17 roster spots to fill for every team, as there's 23 players being chosen to represent 4 nations. I mean, already I'm sure a lot of people are thinking Canada's the favorite. I think a lot of people are probably thinking the States are a favorite. I want to at least wait till the rosters are full before I start making my predictions, but I'm already thinking Sweden is your sleeper or your dark horse. But again, that could be me counting the chickens. And despite, my own point of view with only 4 teams playing, this could still be a great thing. I mean, best on best tournaments are never bad, and you get to see some amazing plays between amazing players. And I mean, if you want proof of that, 1987 Canada Cup, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, they set that bitch on fire. But some good hockey can come out of this. And I mean, the 2016 World Cup was the last best on best we had, and it was a great tournament, despite, Canada winning, but that's neither here nor there. Either way, I can't wait to see the rest of the rosters for all 4 teams. And gotta think when jerseys come out, I'm gonna react to those too. But let's wait for the rosters. It's another one of them Trev's hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this part. And if you have made it this far, just know that I am very grateful, and you should consider giving me a thumbs up, just to let me know, hey, you've made it this far, or that you're digging my work, or even just to say, hey, I'm all for that. Give me that thumbs up. If you want, the red button, it says subscribe all over it. You should hit it. It'll make you feel good. It'll make me feel good. We're on that drive to 500, and we're almost halfway. 8 more from 250, and to everybody who's jumped on the wagon, thank you very much. Glad you're here for the trip. Move forward. Well, again, we got other things on the go. We got a couple more to finish up. We're going to be talking free agency once free agency comes around. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.